Hello, Dear Mindfulness Collective. This right here, right now, it's the joy of being a live stream coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York, folks. Very delightful to be here with you. Where on earth are you coming from? I want to hear it. Hit me. I'm coming from BK. And what am I grateful for? What are you grateful for today, folks? Grateful for, I want to be, because I could just say anything, any random word, but I want to be, what am I actually grateful for today? I'm going to say, this seems like very weird and generic, but clothing. I was just marveling at how easy socks are. I'm like, man, this really helps my life. This makes my life a lot easier. Folks, okay, so hit me up. Where are you coming from? What are you grateful for? We're going to have a nice time today. We're going to have a pretty efficient little live stream today. We're going to be meditating. I'm going to have to end a little early because I have an earlier appointment after this. But until then, what is going on? Where are you at? And what on earth are you grateful for as we get ready to go here? Last time we did our music jam, which was funny because it didn't play during the meditation, which actually ended up being perfect because that means that you could play your own music. West Virginia, grateful for newness. Newness is lovely. What a lovely thing we have there. Good morning, Jean from Brooklyn. Grateful for minerally white wine I drank last night. Oh, I've never had minerally wine. Sounds lovely. Excellent. And what else? I think the countdown for me, just so you folks know, is like 1 month now until we get this little monster. I have to turn on the, because it makes sense. It actually is the doggy cam. This little beast. This is 1 month out. This is her at like 2 weeks or something. So 1 month from now, she will be visiting us, which is lovely, permanently visiting. And I'll also, by that time, be fully vaxxed. Oh my God, you can't see that. I didn't hit transition, sorry. This is the little lady. Here she is. So that's coming in a month. And then, so by that time also I'll be fully vaxxed. So that will mean that I can go see my sister. So I might be on the road for a little bit, which is nice. Okay, welcome Nick here back in Karlstad, Sweden. Grateful for finally setting up my home recording studio. Oh my goodness, I'm excited to hear about that. Send I don't know if you can send a pic. Yeah. Send a pic. I'd love to see what it looks like. I feel like it's hard to, I don't know if I could actually display. Let me see if I can use the camera and reverse angle this thing. I feel like you guys have seen this. I don't think it's that interesting. I don't know if I could do this maybe. Show you my, that's very weird. This is going to be a very weird moment visually. Okay, let's see here. Turn the doggy cam back on. Transition. And okay, so here's doggy cam. I'm trying to show you with the camera. Where's my, can I show you my setup? No, it's like such a mess. Okay, maybe. This isn't fun. Is this fun? This is not fun. Where I'm trying to aim downtown. Anyway, P.S. I didn't tell you guys. I mean, Nick and Denny will care about this. This guy right here is the Mix Pre 3. Oh my God, the preamps on this sucker. What a delight. That's what you're hearing right now. Okay, folks. Oh my goodness, we have Chris Ingram here from Guatemala City. Grateful for deep meditation. Lovely. We get to do some of that today, which is a delight. Cool. Which vaccine? I think I got Pfizer. It's nothing fancy, mostly software stuff, and my guitar amp. Oh, lovely. I didn't know you play guitar. So many mysteries. Nick, what a mystery. Wrapped in an enigma. Wrapped in an enigma. That's a lot. Try that now. Here, go ahead, try that. Wrapped in an enigma. Excellent, folks. So, guess what? We get to meditate today, and I don't have a specific direction to go here, and I know Freaky Friday is usually when we have like, what is it you want to work on, etc. But tell me what you want to work on if you have anything in particular in mind. On paper, I think I should probably work on my concentration at this moment, but I always find that I'm a little bit like not that I don't want to work on concentration, and I'm often like a little like I just want to like explore and do insight meditation and that kind of thing. So, not that it's not a good idea to do some concentration. I want variety. So, let me know if anyone has any directions they want to go, any delights they want to explore, any deceptions they want to dissolve. And then we'll do that. Folks, we're going to be meditating for 25 minutes. Find yourself a nice, comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. The way that we do this is by arranging the body well. We do this by allowing the spine to balance. This is a big key. So if you're practicing lying down, only do that if you're very, very, very not sleepy. You're not going to fall asleep. But basically, we want to, I wish I had a full body cam here, but basically, I guess I could maybe use the dog cam as a full body cam. Is this a new fun way to do the exact same thing we've done a million times? Let's see, will this wide angle get the body? Not really, I'm just going to get my, pardon me, oh, okay, maybe I'll just show this. Okay, so let's transition here. It's a weird double view here. This is exciting, it's two of me. It's weird because it's weird that they're both me because they seem like they're so lit so differently. They're like different cameras. Okay, so basically we want to find a way to balance the body rather than like I'm going to hold the body up. We're actually trying to find a way to like release all the muscles and then balance from the crown of the head all the way through the tailbone. We can't balance on the tailbone if we're not really sitting on the sits bones. These are the two bones at the edge of the hips. If we're sitting, let's say, okay, here's the hips. I have so many views of the same thing. Here's the hips. Sits bones are in the back over here. If we're sitting sort of in the middle, which most seats have a sit sort of somewhere in the middle and the hips rock this way, we want the hips to rock this way. Because if they rock this way, I was going to say something new that I haven't said 1,000 times. Sits bones. Oh yeah, we can't balance on between 2 points if we're sitting at the front of the hip. So the only way to balance from the tailbone through the crown of the head is to sit at the sits bones. So knees lower than the hips. That's the key. Okay, that was really fun. Thank you all. Very fun. Good times for all. So find a nice comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. Okay, let's see. Jean says, always happy to say what's up to kind awareness. Yeah, kind awareness is good. We can also find some stabilization around that. Oh, Sporty Race Girl. I'm going backwards here. Hello from Toronto. I would like help in not judging my thoughts. Excellent. Okay, good. Okay, see, now we have some direction. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys telling me what you want. Escaping the observer trap. There we go. And OFC, kind awareness, always nice. Of course. Kind awareness, always nice. Okay. Let's put those together. Judging thoughts, kind awareness, and escaping the observer trap. Judging thoughts, kind awareness, observer trap. Okay, so how do we arrange this? I feel like I intuitively know how to arrange it, but I can't like formulate it until I do it. I just want to make sure that my mind has the pieces in place. I slept very weirdly last night, so I'm like, coming in here, all diagonal. So, excuse me. So we are going to break down judging. So the way we're going to do that, the way I want to look at that is to break down judging. We're going to observe the part that is judging without judging it. Here's the thing. One of the best ways to deconstruct something, like say, oh, I don't like X, is we actually allow X. I know that sounds crazy, but it actually works because the metaphor that I use is like a swimmer underwater in a pool. If it doesn't have something to push against, the swimmer can't push off and have trajectory and have like momentum. So the judging, if it's just allowed, it doesn't have anything, no resistance, so it can't actually like grip and like take off. So we're actually going to be accepting the judgment. So notice if some party's like, I don't like judgment. I've read a meditation book and they said judgment bad. Well, I don't know if you, there's a name for that type of response, which is very normal, very expected. That's called judgment. And so we're going to allow the judgment. Of course, the judgment is there. It's a natural, normal human phenomenon. The way we're going to get there is through awareness. I see that we have a nice little peppering of folks here. I want to be clear when we're defining awareness, and we'll guide this. So don't worry too much about understanding it right now. I'm going to do a quick demonstration on what the experience of awareness is. This is one of my favorite demonstrations. I learned it in Asia. A lot of the time going to Asia, if you go to monasteries, is not about like you sit down and they tell you the cool stuff right away. It's like hanging out for long periods of time, and like one person who's like trying to translate is like, let me explain it like this, and they'll say a thing and be like, holy crap, that is so clear. It's only taken a month to get that one piece of clarity. This is that piece that was very clear and very powerful. Someone trying to explain the experience of awareness. So right now, I want to ask some non-rhetorical questions. And I want you to answer with your senses, not with words in your mind, okay? The mind might say yes or no, but just check your senses. Okay, right now, can you tell that you're seeing? Great. The answer should have probably been an easy yes, but the answer isn't seeing. Right now, can you tell that you're experiencing hearing? Okay, pretty simple. Right now, can you tell that you have a body, that you physically have physical sensations? Pretty simple, no big deal. In each of those examples, the sensations are quite different. Seeing, hearing, and feeling are quite different sensations, but something was the same each time. The part of us that knew, I know this is happening. So it's like the Gnostic part of the mind, the knowing part of the mind. Awareness is the part of our experience that just knows. Whatever comes into awareness, it just knows. Usually we think of awareness when the mind is very zoomed out, it's very big, takes in a lot of stuff. I think partially, well, I don't know why that is, but whatever. We often experience awareness as big, but it can be any size. So go ahead right now and open awareness, trying to take in your whole experience. One example is either looking at a pinpoint, you can look at one little tiny point, or you can look at your entire visual experience, and it's different ways of experiencing. Awareness tends to be more global. It doesn't care about specific objects. It has more of like a capture effect. So that's what I'm referring to when I say awareness, but we'll guide into this. So folks, find that nice, comfortable, seated position. The one you can maintain in stillness for the duration of the sit. Do not torture yourself though. If you need to move, go ahead and adjust. And we'll be practicing for 25 minutes. Trust me, you'll survive. I haven't lost one yet. And when you're ready, after I cough in your ear, and I'll mute you so I don't blow your ears out. When you're ready, we will begin. Beginning by taking a few comfortable deep breaths. Just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we begin a meditation, we begin with the momentum of all of the previous moments. So if the mind was racing just a few moments ago, or if we're sleepy and foggy, this is going to affect this particular moment. And what this moment is the overlap of all of these different effects, many of which we can't even know what they are. So we can't know everything that created this moment, but we can know the outcome of all of those effects, all of those causes. And that is this moment. So we create our future experience by attending to and treating this moment with care. So beginning by physically relaxing the body, and physically relaxing more than we can even physically feel. So assuming that there are micro tensions that we have not yet released. Relaxing the major muscle groups of the body. So relaxing the head, including the muscles behind the eyes and the back of the tongue. Letting the jaw go slack. No need to hold it closed. Relaxing the neck and shoulders. Relaxing the arms. And while it may feel like the hands are all already relaxed, letting go even more deeply, assuming that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of little micro connections where the muscle meet the bone that are actually subtly prepared to move. So releasing in the hands very deeply as though we're letting go. Letting go of any control of the breath, just letting the body breathe as it will, relaxing the torso, the belly, the lower back. Relaxing the hips, the legs, and relaxing the feet. And then relaxing the entire body as a whole. So rather than any particular part, relaxing everywhere in the body at once. This will begin to engage awareness, which tends to experience things more as a grouping, more as a general field than any particular object. And this is where we're going to rest in the experience of the body as a whole. So simply getting a soft capture of all body experience. Not worrying about details that get lost in the capture, just a soft snapshot. What is body? How can I tell in this moment that I have the experience of body sensation? So we're slowly beginning to stabilize the mind. getting this general capture of the body. If the mind doesn't feel terribly stable, that's fine. Because we're holding the mind in a generally open position, a general capture of awareness, distraction will come in the form of attention, small details, some particular sensation, some sound. And all we do is simply include that, zoom out from that particular sensation back to the whole. And this is the entire movement that we'll engage in over and over in this practice. We'll notice any part, any particular detail. As soon as we notice any detail, we will include more data around it, allowing the mind to include more and more until we once again come in contact with the whole. Either the whole body as a general soft capture, or if we'd like, our whole sense experience, all sensing. Depending on where we are today, one will be easier, likely the body, but just trying if we need to. Maybe the mind simply wants to hold all experience. So we stay with the spacious whole, perhaps even feeling the body beyond where the edge of the body might be imagined to be. Sensations can feel much larger than the physical body. Whenever the mind is pulled to a particle that distracts us, we can, in the mind, say the word part. Introduce that sensation to the sensations around it, eventually finding our way back to a soft capture of the whole. Our whole world has been divided into part and whole. In this way, nothing is outside of the meditation. Often, in doing this kind of meditation, the challenge is there's some part that the mind is not aware of. Some part that is creating division, creating a duality, but we don't notice or know why. So we can't bring it into awareness. Noticing if there's any judging part. Noticing if the mind's creating a separate witness, an identity that views or an identity that knows what's best, that likes or dislikes this. It's not a problem, it's simply a part. And we simply introduce that part to the whole. And at times, if we become distracted, simply noticing if that distraction was the whole or was a part. And usually it's a part. The mind goes down a little rabbit hole. Noticing if there's some part of us that judges parts as no good, like we shouldn't experience them. Each part is like a individual cherry blossom. The mind zooms into a detail, gets very concerned with the petals and the shape, the wind that touches this one little part. And somehow that little part doesn't know that there are all of these beautiful other blossoms, thousands. The mind can open to hold them all. In fact, the tree does not know that it's separate in any way. It doesn't know that there is some imagined difference between its trunk and its branches, between the roots and the nutrients of the earth. It doesn't know there's any difference between it and the sunlight. In this way, the tree exists in the world fully three-dimensionally. Taking all of it in. Often our pain, our anxiety, our difficulty, it feels so central. It's like a wound in the tree. Some damage in the bark where sap collects. Exposed to the elements. And the mind zooms into this pain or difficulty. But our pain isn't healed by separating it, by cutting it from the tree. That wound, that natural, inevitable difficulty is healed by taking in sunlight from all directions. By allowing nutrients and moisture from the earth below. And on one hand, this is simply a poetic metaphor for this practice, but even the shape of the tree. This is actually, in a way, similar to the shape of an open, spacious mind. We tend to think of it being very central in the middle. But physically relaxing the body in a way that allows it to open experientially, spatially, letting the mind softly take in all around us, introducing each part to the whole. Because this is a soft and spacious way of relating to our experience, there can be a tendency to drift towards sleepiness, towards dullness or fogginess. So noticing that while the body at times may become dull or sleepy, the mind does not have to. The part of the mind that knows our experience takes in whatever it comes in contact with. And this part of the mind is bright. spacious, quiet, clear. And if we can't find that clarity, that deep and abiding distinctness, well, how do we know we can't find it? The part that feels lost or feels unclear is simply a part that is known clearly. We may also notice that this awareness doesn't have preference. Maybe we have preference. We like or dislike this experience. But the awareness is the part that knows we like or dislike. It's there regardless of our preference. And it can be shocking, surprising to find out that part of us is always there whenever we're conscious and is free of any need, doesn't suffer. Doesn't struggle in the way we know struggle. And so over time we're simply teaching the mind to know this part. This part of us that is the whole. To learn to visit, to abide, to become. And our practice is simply beginning an introduction, a new relationship to this kind awareness. Open, accepting. So whatever degree to which we found this, or even have not, just recognizing that what we're in contact with now is nature. For some reason, the mind likes to separate itself from nature. But that's, ironically, the nature of the mind. So staying with the practice, staying in stillness, allowing a tiny bit of light to enter the eyes, eventually allowing the eyes to rest on a single point as they fully open. Letting the spaciousness of open eyes expand the spaciousness of awareness. Taking in the light around us. and in this way allowing this particular moment to be the great teacher that shows us how we might bring this practice into every aspect of our life. Okay, so going ahead and making any physical adjustments you need to allow the body to be comfortable. Any stretches, that kind of thing. And break out that digital technology, folks. Smack them digits on your type-in pad. And tell me, what was that experience like? What happened? What do you like now? If you want to, if you put in this much effort into meditating, if you write down your experience, it expands the impact of that. It's a little bit like stretching after exercise, which I tend to not do, so I'm a little guilty of that. It maximizes what just happens. Write down your experience. What was that like? What happened? What do you like now? And then what's it going to say? Well, they're saying, oh, are we still trying to, I wonder, wait, I think Tomalon has not helped us fix the Discord yet. Why? Wait, what was the problem last time? Oh, we couldn't hear anybody. Okay, I'm going to ask for a sacrificial lamb here. Someone who hasn't tried to do this already, I'm going to ask you to jump onto the Discord. Let's see, reports and questions. No, I want to be voice waiting room. Okay, I want to try something here. Okay, here's the chat. Somebody who's willing to do this, just to even test it, because we're still trying to make this work. I can't figure out why this hasn't worked and why we haven't fixed it. This is our Discord. If you are willing to, just jump on for a second and we'll see if we can get the voice to work. No pressure, but that would be helpful. And then if we can, you can also ask your questions, any challenges, difficulties, interests. Last time the problem we had was that Discord was reading audio, but somehow I couldn't hear it. And I don't know if that's universal or something wrong with whoever's computer. So that's I'd be very curious from your experience. Okay, beep up, beep up. Okay, folks, hit me with your reports, and we'll go from there. What was that like? What happened? What do you like now? I don't have a ton of time left. I wish I had all the time in the world for you guys, but a little bit of time. So hit me with your reports, hit me with those questions. Let's do it. That was a really fun meditation. I had a really nice time doing that. That tree analogy, that's my jam. I think this actually, I mean, I mentioned that, but there's something about actually experiencing it as like the mind at the size, at the scale of that tree. Lovely. Real game changer. It's so hard to explain to people before they've actually had contact with awareness what we're talking about. But even now, as I'm talking to you, I can like hold awareness out in this way that's more like the tree is everywhere, all around me. I think if I were to give it a more literal, like, okay, what tree would this be like? It's more like a weeping willow. And okay, at first you're like, I'm at the trunk, but actually if the mind can open up and be all of that sweeping branches, it's reaching over, touching the ground, the roots are all around. That's a little bit closer than the cherry blossom tree, but that's good. I think the cherry blossom tree is quite beautiful. Chris Ingram, you're on Discord. The problem was, Chris, I think you tried this before, but let's try. Wait, you're on Discord. Are you in the voice? Oh, there you go. Okay. Chris, I'm going to drag you into... Oh, you're gone. Oh, you came. You're gone. Jean says, thank you. Yes, the tree analogy was very much resonated with me today. Excellente. So, Chris, you were on Discord, and then, oh, there you're back. Okay, so, Chris, you're hearing this now. There's probably a little delay, but go ahead and mute the live stream. Turn your audio on Discord. Try to talk for a second. Make some noise. Make some noise. Here, let me put you in the... I'm going to move you over. Hello, Chris. Can you hear me? You're talking right now, but I can't hear you. This doesn't make any sense. Okay. Let me try something here. You're back in the waiting room. Okay, hold on here. I want to try something. I'm going to try to make a call on Discord. Sorry, folks. This is just, I just want to really quickly try this. Tell me if you can hear these sounds. I actually don't hear my Discord ringing. Usually it makes a sound. Okay, so this is probably on my end. I probably can't hear my own Discord. We'll give it a second. I'm calling in a lifeline. Let's see what happens. Okay, folks, hit me with your reports. I want to hear what that was like. What is life going on for you? If you haven't got the 15 essential guided meditations, those are in the chat. If they're not, I'm going to put them in right now. Yeah, they're there. Okay. Okay, no dice with calling. Let's see. How about if I play this video from Discord? Tell me if you hear this. Okay. I can hear that. Weird, I can't hear people's voices, but I can hear audio. Okay, I gotta fix this. Okay, thank you, Chris. Very kind of you. It doesn't seem to be working. We're gonna fix this, I swear. Okay, great. Thank you for that technical exploration. For some reason it disconnects. Okay, we'll work it out. Okay, let's get to some reports. What was that experience like? What happened? And what are you like now? I mentioned I don't have a ton of time, but that does not mean I can't get to a detailed report, so don't hesitate with your reports. Sporty Race Girl says,
"It was a soothing experience. With every thought came a judgment, but I rolled it into the hole, and it made the sitting uncomfortable. It eventually settled into the hole."
Good. We want to see, rolled into the hole, and it made the sitting uncomfortable. Okay. Well, listen, again, if it gets too uncomfortable, a little overwhelmed, start saying you can go ahead and pause the meditation. And that's the solution. Sounds great. Sounds like it worked pretty well. Chris, thank you so much for trying. We'll stick to text for today. We'll figure out what this is offline. I don't want you guys to be tortured by this technical challenge. We're going to get it fixed, goddammit. This happened before. We're going to get it fixed. What else? Okay, folks, what else is coming up for you? What happened and what are you like now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, hit me with those reports, folks. Check. Check. Okay, there's the output, voice activity. Check, okay. I'm trying to, okay, anyway, back to reports. Okay, folks, thank you for that. We're going to jump to Nick here. Nick says the following.
"Sleepy as usual, but it felt vivid. Old friend Cherry Tree resonated. A part was struggling really hard to narrate the experience and getting hung up on words, so it was quite sticky. Still is. Hearing and feeling was free-floating, but vision seems to be located somehow, like awareness originates in the back of the head. Which is odd considering the feeling of the back of the head is in awareness. Narrative is confused."
Yeah, okay, so how do we navigate that? So again, it just comes back to this thing of whole and part. And if you can have that larger experience, here's what I want you, I think this will probably solve it for you. Open the mind. It sounds so weird whenever I talk about this stuff. It sounds so like mystical, but go ahead and widen the mind, open awareness. And notice if awareness is wide and open, the sense of a central viewer goes away for even an instant. And then we look back and, oh, there's a viewer back here. And then we open up again and it's this spacious experience. And then it goes back. It's one of these things where whenever you look at it, it seems like it's there. Excuse me. But that's not universally the case. So go ahead and just assume that it does go away when when awareness is larger. Here's another trick, which I've mentioned before, but if it feels like it's stuck in the middle, it's stuck in the center, you can't escape from this thing, it has a gravitational pull. It's pulling to the middle. It's pulling. It's like, I can't escape this gravity. Well, what is it? What is that gravity pulling from? That there's a core, but it's pulling from something. And it can help the mind open to say, where is this pulling from? What are the outer edges of what it's pulling from? And that way, we can use that central pulling experience to show us the larger whole. That is hot wiring our experience, hot wiring the problem to give us a solution. Chris Ingram says the following, 2 little comments here.
So the meditation was extremely relaxing, observing parts arise. I always introduced it to the whole, and then parts arose more frequently as sitting became more painful. It's a dance between parts and kind awareness. Chris Ingram, I could observe parts that give meaning and orientation arise. Also parts thinking about planning, past and future, a part that plays music back to me.
Great.
It is very interesting and relaxing.
Great. See, the thing is that if we see something as a part, whatever it is, the judging part, or the, Nick mentioned the observer trap, that there is an observer, like a noun that is sort of controlling it all. If we observe those things as parts, they cannot be us. The disidentification starts immediately when we see, like, okay, even the sense of self, you can probably check out your sense of self right now to know, oh, that is just a part. There's a bunch of other experiences, and that is a separate little unit. It thinks it's a separate unit. So the thing I mentioned during the stream, which is this funny thing that the mind, for whatever reason, tries to separate itself out from nature, from everything, that it's for survival purposes probably. It says, okay, I'm different, I'm separate, pay more attention to me. Probably the people with stronger egos survived, and so that's why we have such a strong sort of tendency in that direction. So if we can notice it as a part, it no longer is necessarily so bound up in that way. Nick says, it alternates between a field and orienting from a hub. So just know that it's not like hub bad, field good. It's just the same material. That's one of the things that I think takes people a long time to notice, that the part is not actually separate. It wouldn't make any sense if it were actually separate, because like, how is it separate? Even for an instant. It thinks it's separate. It pretends it's separate. It kind of makes it like, oh, look, a ball of clay floating in space. It's separate from everything, but it's not. It's the same material. It just sort of organized. So it's like stardust, and then, whoosh, the thought of a pineapple, stardust, oh, pain in my leg, and it's the same material. And that's part of what we're looking at, is it's the same experiential material that is now organized into an experience. So that movement from like, deorganized to organized is the movement of nama and rupa. So nama is an ancient term that means name. It's broad. This is a broader interpretation than the sort of most strict interpretation. But anything the mind does to organize data, we're going to call that name, right? Including spatially, including temporally, any sense of time, any sense of narrative, all those things. If using these ancient terms, we're going to call nama. On the other hand, rupa is, the term means body, but we're going to use that to mean any raw sense data. So any sense that there is any sense that there is a non-division, or there's a breakup or non-duality of that same material. So nama rupa is the insight that these two things are just dancing together. They're moving and changing and shifting, but they're actually the same material. That's the deep side of nama rupa. So there's that. Nick then goes on to say, something feels like it is trying to pull apart when I feel the center. Something feels like pull apart when I feel the center. Is that something subtler that I missed? Something feels like it's trying to pull apart. Okay, tell me, what do you mean? When you feel the center, it feels like that is pulling from the larger whole. Pull apart. So clarify that sentence, because I feel like I can answer. I feel like I'm halfway there, but I don't want to assume what you mean. When is the Progress of Shinsight coming? It's coming soon. A couple things. I have an interview with Shinzen. I want to use that interview to let people know about what the Progress of Shinsight is. And that's coming in like 2 weeks. So then we have to get it and edit it and all that stuff. So coming soon. The reason, and I want people to know, the reason we're delaying the next course is not because we could just do the course exactly how we did last time. We're trying to make a significant improvement, which might even mean recording, 100 new meditations, which will probably be recorded right here on the stream. But it is, we're trying to do a reorganization, because we after the last class, we just really went in. It was like, what would you improve? What would you improve? And really talked to people, really went in. And so we're trying to make it significantly better. Do we have to do that? No. People liked it, well enough last time. People took it more than once, that kind of thing. But somehow I just feel like, got to make it better. I don't know. That's my drive. So it's coming soon. We're talking about, months, not multiples of months. And so if you're on our email list, which I assume you are, you're going to find out. You'll be one of the first people to know when we launch it, and then we'll go from there. So that is that. So Nick, hit me with that clarifying question, and then okay. Any final questions? I'm going to have to jump off pretty soon. Questions. Hit me with questions. That was fun. It's funny because sometimes I feel like, I've got to mix it up. I've got to do new meditations because people are sick and tired of the old ones, but I really like doing part and whole. It's pretty significant, I find, and it's kind of endless. It's really a very deep meditation. So that is that. Okay. So Nick, I'm assuming maybe you fell asleep at the wheel. The wheel being at work, and fell asleep meaning you're doing your work. Okay. So I'll begin to wind up here, hoping. Okay. Nick says, sorry, missed what you were saying a bit. There's some efforting to not try to be located. Okay. So I think I understand what you're saying. There's some efforting to not try to be located. So I can get into the detail of that, but just remember, whatever it is, whatever tightening, whatever organizing, it's nature. We don't want to treat parts as like bad. That's nature. Of course, there's going to be moments when the mind will sort of organize around a part. Our job is just to slowly show it the way back to the whole, and then know it's going to collapse, and then show it to the whole, because the default is part, and maybe whole sometimes if we need to. We want to sort of reverse the order so that it's whole and sometimes part when we need to. So that is that's the jam there. Okay. Chris says, do you intentionally activate certain parts to do certain tasks during the day? Absolutely, 100%. It's much more intuitive usually for people than that. Like the part of me that can manage a live stream, I don't really consciously do this. And we're actually trying to move to the place where we don't have to consciously do it so much anymore. And 100%, especially if we're trying to resolve like a challenge or trying to deconstruct a tendency or a habit. What we want to do is to, bring up that part, observe that part as it functions, especially if we get into the kind of psychological side with the internal family systems stuff. That is, we're definitely activating specific parts in order to navigate them. But to do certain tasks throughout the day, that's a very skillful way to do it. And I think everybody does that, right? It's like, okay, I've got to do this big task. I'm going to just stretch a little bit and have a little snack and give myself some energy and get that part that can do it online. Like we all do that already. So hopefully that is that's clarifying to some degree. Yeah, exactly. Some parts treat other parts as bad. There's judgment. I think it was Sporty Race Girl talked about judging mind. Who was it who said it right at the beginning? Oh, the chat goes back really far. It goes back 3 streams. So someone at the beginning, I thought it was Sporty Race Girl, said that the judging mind. So the point is, though, that there's the judging mind. I like, dislike, right? But then there's the part that's like, judging, bad. We should get rid of judging. Well, that part is natural. Of course you're going to judge. That's the stance that I typically encourage people to have. Of course judging is happening. Of course clinging and aversion is there. That's nature. It's the nature of the mind to cling and avert. So that is absolutely natural. Okay, folks, excellent fun as always to be here with you. Super good times. Beep up is okay right now in this moment. Take a look around, look at your world, look at your environment, listen to some groovy tunes here, and what's the net result? We want to what? Take a moment to zoom out, to take in not only the music, but your environment, any momentum you built from the meditation, all of that together, and know that it is a natural process, just like the tree growing. We can't force it. We can nurture it. And that's what we're doing. We're simply nurturing nature. We're simply allowing what's already there, because guess what? Our tendency to not allow what's there just creates pain and discord. It doesn't really help. So we're learning to get out of the way and let nature be nature. To have fun, to hang out, to have a good time, and let nature be nature. Folks, as always, practice well, Take care of each other. Have fun. And we'll see you all very, very soon.